Okay, so this is some of the gear that I'm actually taking. Over here I have the gear that I'll actually be wearing, which is like a chamois underwear, a pair of shorts, a top, and that hat I keep on the bike so that when I take my helmet off, I've got something to put on to stop my baldy head from getting burned. In terms of what I will take for repairs, I have a pump with a pressure gauge on it, which means I don't have to carry a separate pressure gauge. I have a selection of wire ties. I have a cleaning brush for cleaning up the chain and the drivetrain. I have a set of tire levers. I have a little bull-nosed thing here for taking out cotter pins and that type of thing. I have 2 spare sets of brake pads. I have 2 spare tubes. I have a multi-tool in here, a complete set of Allen keys. I have some rim tape. I have a patch kit, and I have some chain lube. That's all that I take with me for repairs. If anything else goes wrong, I'm messed. Because of the time that's in it, I'm taking 2 masks. I have a head torch, and I also have this very high powered LED torch which will go on my helmet if I'm night riding. I also have a receptacle for it on the handlebars of the bike as well, and this one for setting up camp. I have a spare battery for the high powered torch. I'm taking camera gear with me. This is a chest harness for the GoPro, so I'm taking the GoPro. I'm taking my phone, which is an iPhone 6s. I'm taking a wide angle lens for the phone, and it will also work with the iPad that I'm filming on now. I'm taking a tripod cum selfie stick here. I've got an adapter for the GoPro, which allows me to actually use a separate microphone. I have some headphones with a microphone on them that will work with the phone and the iPad. And then I have chargers. This charger I will be able to use for charging the battery on the bike, and with this set of adapters here I can use that to charge my phone, my iPad, the GoPro. I have all the connectors for that here, the lights for the bike, and this, which is a 20,000 milliamp hour battery pack, which can be used to recharge anything if I'm nowhere near an outlet. This here is what I use instead of hard drives to keep my film on and video on. It's an adapter for the iPhone and the iPad, and I use little 128 gig or a series of 128 gig SSD cards. This is the charger for both the phone and the iPad. Obviously I have my helmet with me, all of the bits and pieces for the charging, as I said. Toiletry gear, I have some factor 30 so I don't get burned. It's going to be really hot out there. I have some deodorant because I may go into a restaurant or something and I don't want to be smelling like, well, don't want to be smelling. Half a roll toilet roll because you always need toilet roll. I have some hand sanitizer, I have some soap, I have toothpaste, a toothbrush, I have a selection of medications here for painkillers, diarrhea, some plasters and that type of thing. I have a hairbrush, and I have a razor, toothbrush. I have a spare pair of glasses. These are actually the glasses that I wear on the bike because they have this flip down visor, and they're an older pair of glasses, so if they get a bit scratched it's not the end of the world. So I'll be taking these glasses in this case as a spare pair in case something goes wrong. I have a little stuff bag here for all of the electrical gear that goes in. So that's the bones of the stuff that will go into one of the panniers. And as I say, it's all for this short a trip, it's probably enough. The charger for the battery on the bike actually went into the battery bag, which was fantastic, and that saves me a bit of space. So among my toiletries, I'll be carrying a little tub of lube for the chamois to stop my nether regions from becoming chafed. I just thought I'd mention that it's important if you're doing long trips that you have enough with you. So in terms of the clothes that I'm taking, as I've said, I'll be wearing my chamois as underwear, a pair of shorts, I'll be wearing a pair of trainers and socks, a top which will be either a bike top like this, or a t-shirt. This one is handy because it's got the pockets in the back for accessing things like snacks, important stuff like that. The only downside to this one is it's a very dark colour, so I may wear a t-shirt, and because that's so light I may take it with me anyway. I'll also be packing in the backpack this bicycle jacket, which also has pockets in the back, and this will actually be my jacket, so in the evenings if it does get cool I can pop this on and it doubles, as I say, if it gets cold cycling, not hoping hell that's going to happen, or if I'm cycling at night, which might happen, or if I'm wandering around at night and it's a lot cooler than I think it will be, I'll have this with me. And if none of those things happen, I'll be able to put this into one of the packs, the bags, and use it as a pillow. These are a pair of tracksuit bottoms, and this will give me something to change into in the evening. And the main reason for this is I expect to have mosquito issues because we're going to be close to water. So something with long sleeves, which I have with me, a shirt with long sleeves, this, a pair of socks, and some mosquito repellent on my face and my hands, and we should be okay. And it'll double as pyjamas as well. So the only other things clothes-wise I'm taking with me will be a underwear to change out of the chamois in the evenings, and a pair of socks, spare socks. The spare socks I'm taking for to wear at night to stop anything from getting into my feet. But the other issue is I'm going to the lakes and I expect to actually be swimming in the lake, and it makes sense to have something on your feet. It can get quite sharp, little stones or whatever, so a pair of socks or a pair of Crocs or something like that also makes sense. Now you will have noticed that I haven't a towel, and the reason for that is that rather than using a towel for ablutions, I'm actually going to be taking a beach towel with me, because I'm going to the lakes, I'm going to be swimming, and I can use that towel as a beach towel. I can use it to lie on, and I can use it for ablutions and everything else. So I've wrapped my clothes up in that beach towel and put that in one of the haversacks, in one of the panniers. In this carry sack here, which originally was for the tent is now, not for the tent, which was originally for the sleeping bag. The sleeping bag is now wrapped around the tent, so I didn't need this. I've got my spare clothes, and into this will go my tracksuit bottoms and whichever of the tops that I'm not wearing will go in here as well. And you can see that the beach towel is here wrapped around my other clothes. So I've got a t-shirt top in there with, or not a t-shirt, it's like a shirt with longer sleeves, set of underwear, and my socks. And that then will go directly into one of the panniers, and there's room on top for stuff to go on top of that as well, so great. Okay, this is me from the future. I've actually been on the trip and I've come back and realised while I was editing that I hadn't actually talked to you about the food that I was taking, although at some stage during one of the next videos I will talk a little bit about it. But just to give you an idea, in terms of the utensils, I took a plate, this plastic cup, a knife, fork and a spoon, mainly because these were the things that we had in a picnic set. rather than buy something new. It's fine. I took a Tupperware with some nuts in it. I took some wraps, which are actually very good because they fold up and don't take up an awful lot of space, like a loaf of bread or something like that would. And I took some peanut butter, I took some cream cheese, which created some issues, which you'll see in another video, and I took some cured meats. The other thing I took were these muesli bars, which I was going to use for snacks, and I took some bananas. And that pretty much was all of the food that I took, and that all went into one of these, which is a cool bag. So it went into the cool bag, and then it went into one of the panniers. So one of the panniers was specifically for food items, and I think I put my toiletries in there as well. And then the other pannier was exclusively for clothes and the electrical stuff that I took. And after that was just the tent and the sleeping bag and the mat, which went on the back.
Hey.